Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part of the exhaust and lambda sensor replacement. I've not done anything since I last filmed, about 3 or 4 days ago now, and I've left it as it is. So the first thing I'm going to do, and hope it doesn't rain, is take the bonnet off, which I've done before in videos. So bolts 2 on each side, screws come off, bonnet lifts off, and easier working. So yeah, let's get this stood somewhere and get this off. So access 100 times better. Right, this is in my way, so this needs to come out the way. So it gives me a bit better access into the banjo bolt for the vacuum pipe. It goes to the servo. So I need to get in there, get that undone, being very careful not to lose any of the parts. Well, it's tight, but once it goes, it goes. So it's got a washer with it. Like I say, it's a banjo bolt, and once that's off, this just lifts out the way. And as you've seen there, there's a washer that sits on the other side that I'm hoping has just landed on the ground down there. And I'm going to keep this somewhere safe. So you can see that gives me better access into here, into this wiring loom. I'll get a screwdriver in here and get this pulled out. And yeah, I'll need to try and find that other washer. It's not come through the bottom. It's like a gasket, so it's a sealant, so I do need it. Maybe when the manifold's out the way, I'll get a better look. So that's this clip out the way. I've got the clip back in here. I managed to get it because it fell and landed there. So it gives me decent access now to get put this here so I don't lose it. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll move this out the way. It gives me access now to get into the manifold bolts, and then let exhaust and then let manifold bolts. So you've got one on the end here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So obviously the 2 or the 3 inner ones, 4 inner ones are for the inlet manifold. So I'll try them first and get in and try and get the inlet manifold off, and at least move to the side a bit so I can get some better access to the exhaust manifold. Right, so I've undone some of the studs, the 4 centre ones. This one's off completely. They don't have to come off because once it's loose, the inlet manifold, you can see, is lifted up here. The only thing holding it in place at the moment is a cable tie holding it on to the bracket at the back here, and it's still attached on the underside by a vacuum pipe and obviously the hoses. Well, cable tie cut. Let's see if we can get this manoeuvred enough out of the way. need to be careful because there's wires and everything here. If you disconnect one wire, you know, it'll affect the whole car. So the wiring loom at the back needs carefully lifted out of the way. Need to be careful the fuel trap here, you know, various bits and pieces. So I'm just going to disconnect the Jubilee clips on the two hoses that got an inlet manifold, so the bottom and top one there. So there will be some water coming out. I'll put a bucket underneath, but see when I'm moving it, that's kind of what's holding it in place. If I can get that out of the way, I can then tilt this on its side and it gives me a lot of access. Plus I want to get into the underside here to check all the vacuum pipes and sensors etc. are all in order. Right, so that's both, you can see both water hoses disconnected now. Very fiddly. I knew it was because I've done it before. But that's now the manifold, the inlet manifold sort of free, except for a few connectors and the fuel trap here. So what I'm going to do is this is the fuel trap. What I'm going to do is disconnect the vacuum pipe, then I can just get this completely lifted away to one side and I can focus on the manifold. So without stressing this, I'm just going to twist it by hand slightly to get it off. There we go. And the fuel trap, it is tight but it comes off. And as you can see, this has come off, but it will go back in. So this can just sit out the way at the moment, somewhere. And then this inlet manifold can all lift to the side. The only thing really holding it in place now, as we can see here, is the wiring loom onto the heater underneath. But I don't need to disconnect that for the manifold. Move this here and now I can freely get access to the manifold and downpipe, which is what I was after. So look at all the access I've got now. So two bolts still holding the manifold on. These bolts have to come off completely. This one is awkward because of the location, and then this one holds this bracket on. So yep, these bolts need to come off completely. Need to disconnect the lambda sensor just by following the wiring loom back up here, and then it's because I cut the downpipe earlier on, it just lifts up fairly straightforward. The lambda sensor, follow the wire back, goes up around here, held on by this cable tie, it goes into here, push this bit in here and simply pull it. Feed it through here, and that's basically your, I'll need to cut that cable tie, but once that's cut, that'll feed and we can get the bolts off and get this lifted out. There we go. It doesn't actually look that old, this lambda sensor. So I'll sit that down there just now. Right, onto the two bolts. Right, this could take a while because they're fiddly access, so it's bit at a time, so I'll come back to you once they're out. So one side done, nut and washer also holds this pipe on, so this just needs lifted off before you pull it up. So there we go, that's that free at that side. Just this lovely bolt in here now to do. They're off. That took a ridiculously long time. So I've taken all the studs off. Just a case now of lifting this back and lifting it free of the engine. So there we go, finally free, finally clear. I've got a few missions. One is to find that washer I lost earlier on, and this is kind of the fun bit I was expecting, getting getting these downpipe fixings off and getting the lambda sensor off. And while I'm here, try to get these bolts off just to get all this cleaned up, see what kind of state it's in. So this I'm going to clean up, put WD-40 on, and let it soak for a wee while. Same with the lambda sensor, same with these, and then it lets me do light work on the back of here. I do plan to put a new gasket on here. This wasn't on that long ago, but I've got a new one there, and I've got new studs to go on the back of the head as well, just because I got a full kit of them. So I'm going to do the cleaning and lubricating here first, and then when I come back to you I'll be hopefully getting these studs out. So like I said, I've got a new studs kit here. I'm replacing each of these. These actually aren't too bad, but I've got a whole pack there, so I'm here, I may as well do it. And I've also got a new gasket. So this gasket, just slides off. With the smooth side, the grey side facing the engine, and the texture side facing the inlet and the exhaust manifold. So before I put another one back on, I'm going to clean that back bit there. So here we go, I'll start on one of the centre ones, but what I'm going to do is screw one of the bolts back on. Doesn't have to be all the way. So once that's on, I'm going to screw another bolt over it. So once that's locked there, I'm going to put this over the inside bolt and just basically undo it. And it's going to lock on that, and it's going to unscrew the stud. And then once it comes loose, it wasn't very tight, that one at all, this should just screw out. Apologies, you can't see because of my arm. Try to give you the best angle, but the camera sometimes does get in the way. And there we go, how to remove a stud. And like I said, as I do it, make sure there's no dirt going in, I'm just going to replace them using the same method. I'll screw them until they get so tight, tighten this, and then just tighten it down by using the two bolts. Right, moment of truth, are all these going to come off? Tackle the downpipe first. So it's been cleaned, it's been soaking with penetrating fluid. Let's see how it comes off. You have to love it. Shared. Half expected. So, two snapped, one came off. Problem is these are getting hot all the time, then cold, hot and cold, so you know it does stress the metal. Just now need to try and get this off without damaging this, and then see if this manifold's going to be salvageable. The manifold, give me a little hassle. as I kind of expected. The problem with these things, like I said before, is they get hot. So the studs, this one joined its friends and snapped off. So I've tried heat, I've tried penetrating fluid, I've tried stud extractor, mole grips, nothing. So had it been that on its own, I'd have kept working at it, but the lambda sensor is pretty solid as well. And the heat shield bolts are pretty much the same. When I took it off last time, this one just sheared off completely. These two are just turning, so even if I do get a grip on these are just going to shear off as well. So I think I'm just going to give it up and get a new manifold, or a good second-hand manifold at least, because it's just not in the condition I'm wanting it to be. And yeah, I'm going to go and do a bit of research, see what parts I need, because I've been sent the wrong studs by an eBay company for the cylinder head, and while I've been in there I've seen a few other bits and pieces, so I just need to go and do a wee parts order, and then I'll come back and hopefully be refreshed and start again.